Hello everyone, Financial Fancy here. You're watching FANTAVISION, and today we're discussing how experts are looking at GameStop and trying to figure out how the company can survive the upcoming digital consoles. We're going to be looking at different takes on whether or not this is going to be a big thing at all, what kind of era we're in, and what GameStop's future could look like for them to survive. Before we continue, of course, do like the video and subscribe. It really does help. To start off, I want to thank Ara for sending this to me through Discord. This is all based off of a CNN article that has many financial experts and analysts looking at GameStop as a business to see what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and what could possibly happen in the future. And I found this an incredibly interesting article, and I wanted to discuss it with you guys. I've talked about this sort of thing in the past, but I am not a financial expert. I've been yelled at many times in the comments section for being just that and not an expert, even though I state it all the time. But I do feel that as a person who worked there for many, many years and saw the business in decline and saw what they were doing, what they're doing wrong, how the community feels about them, I feel like as a person from the inside, I had an interesting look into it. And now it's going to be interesting to see what these people from the outside looking in think about the company and their decisions and what's been going on in the market. So right off the bat, it's kind of funny that CNN reached out to GameStop and they declined to comment on whether or not the PS5 digital or the Xbox Series S were a big threat to their company. I mean, it's kind of weird that they've got nothing to say. They could go, oh, well, you know, we've got all these other plans. They're not going to be a big deal. Don't worry about it. Instead, they didn't do any of that. They just declined to comment completely. But that's GameStop for you. Though honestly, even their CEO knows that their company has been doing things wrong because the games industry has been exploding and GameStop is the one that's been going downhill. In a September 2019 interview, CEO George Sherman told CNN Business, "Gaming as an industry could not be stronger. It's us that needs to pivot. It's GameStop that needs to make some changes." Now, I've been saying this for a very long time. I've been saying that GameStop has been needing to change, and so have experts and investors and everybody. But analysts are still a little split on whether or not these digital systems pose an immediate threat, though most seem to agree that we are headed in a direction that is more digital and more streaming. And the reason that some experts are saying that digital is not going to pose an immediate threat is because the adoption of these digital-only systems is not that big yet. It has not been a widely accepted thing to just have a digital system. Plus, if you look at Xbox, they didn't go all in on digital. They have their digital system, but it's also not as powerful as their disc version. However, even those experts have to agree that once 5G becomes more of a thing and streaming gets better and better, it's going to be a scary landscape for GameStop. Something else that a lot of analysts are saying is that we are in the Blockbuster era of video games. Now, what does this mean? This is not talking about movies or something like that, though you could look at it that way. You could say there's a lot of blockbuster games right now where it's just huge budgets, making tons of money, it's crazy. No. This is the brick and mortar blockbuster era, where the shift to digital and streaming murdered Blockbuster because Blockbuster could not evolve quick enough. GameStop is the Blockbuster video game places. Yes, for sure, they are different because they're not a rental service. However, they are specifically a video game store, and that's it. Yes, they have video game merchandise and other things that are not specifically just video games, but because they are so focused in video games and try to really focus in on modern gaming, the more that modern gaming shifts, the less ground and market share GameStop holds when it comes to game sales. Blockbuster was murdered by Netflix, and I could easily see GameStop being murdered by Game Pass, this Amazon thing, Google Stadia if they ever actually start doing things with it. There are so many things that are entering this market sphere that are taking away from brand new games being sold or games being traded in. Now, interjecting my opinion here, I also feel that this Blockbuster era is even more accurate because even though Blockbuster is gone, we still have physical movies. You can still go out and buy a DVD, Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray. The format is not going to go away with GameStop. I don't think physical games are going away anytime soon. It's going to be a very long time before it's only digital video games. But I do feel that the market is going to shift at some point enough to kill gaming-specific stores, and it seems like most analysts agree with that. But I did want to put that little caveat that just because there is going to be more digital sales, more streaming, I don't think physical will go away anytime soon. But how are experts saying that they can evolve faster than Blockbuster to survive this Blockbuster era that we're in? And some say that stay the course. Some are saying that as long as there are discs that are out there, they can be traded into GameStop and they can make money off of used games. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I do think they need to shift at some point, and their financials say the same thing. But I do agree with the fact that they should keep selling games. They should keep taking in trade-ins, and they should still focus on selling used games. They just need to fix the model in which they're doing it, because right now, they are not nearly competitive as they need to be in this market that keeps getting more and more competition. Amazon, Best Buy, Target, especially Walmart, should not be beating the prices of video games, of a video game specific store. GameStop should be the best place to buy video games. And right now, they are the worst place to buy video games for so many reasons that I've already given. The fact that Walmart has been putting games out on launch day $10 cheaper than everywhere else makes GameStop just worthless. Why would you spend more money and go to GameStop when you can just go to Walmart and save that $10? There's no incentive to go to GameStop. And they need to build in that incentive, or they're going to continue to bleed customers, which is why they keep losing hundreds of millions of dollars. Another idea that analysts and experts have put out there is that they should just stop selling video games altogether. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think that's the course, but they think that they should just sell merchandise and video game accessories like controllers, headsets, chairs, I don't know, just video game related accessories and video game related merchandise. I understand where they're coming from, but I still don't understand how they're going to compete with all of those other stores that sell the same thing. If they're not selling video games, why would I go to GameStop to buy an accessory when I could just go somewhere else or order it off of Amazon and order my games off of Amazon? You know what I mean? If you're not going there to pick up a game console, you're not going there to pick up a game, how likely are you going to pick up a game accessory there? A lot of times, accessories are add-on items. Yes, a lot of people do go to the store just for that accessory, but it is also a great add-on to other things that people are buying. If they're buying a multiplayer game, you can suggest a headset. If they're buying a console, you can suggest a headset, more controllers, more charge cables, all of these different things that you're not going to be able to do anymore if you're only selling accessories and merchandise that you can still buy anywhere. I would be curious to see what it would be like with GameStop as only a merchandise and accessory store, but I just don't feel like that model of store would survive. These highly specific and specialized stores don't seem to be holding on very well, especially right now, while people are going out less and shopping at brick and mortar stores less. And you could argue, hey, but their online presence would still have video games and accessories, and I would again argue that you can buy that literally anywhere. There is something that a lot of people are not thinking about when it comes to GameStop, and I completely disregarded this fact, even though I knew it, but GameStop's ace up their sleeve is the fact that they have 16 million people in their database. They have 16 million customer profiles at their fingertips. They have buying habits, they have preferences, they have all these different things. They could use this to enhance their marketing and use it to change the business model in different ways. One of the most recent large investors into GameStop, Ryan Cohen, who is the co-founder of the Chewy company, which is a dog toy delivery service type thing. It's a very pet-focused company. Now, he built his company and made it incredibly successful from data like this. If GameStop can connect with this co-founder, with Ryan here, maybe he will have some ideas to help turn the business around and use that data to their advantage. Think about how many companies out there want your data and are constantly harvesting it. There's a reason for that. Our data is valuable. Our data makes companies billions to trillions of dollars. And if you know how to use it correctly, you can do just that. And with that little nugget of information at the end of the article pointing to what the future could be of GameStop, it makes it really interesting. Maybe GameStop could be just a delivery service. Maybe GameStop could start a subscription service. Maybe they could just specialize their ads more to what the customer profile says about their buying habits. There's so many things you can do with customer data, and if they really use it to its full potential, they could turn the store around. So overall, it's quite a mixed opinion out there when it comes to the future of GameStop. Some are saying that it is the Blockbuster of this era and it will die out. But others are saying, yeah, it is the Blockbuster, but if they do specific things, they can change the course that they're heading in. I want to know what you guys think about GameStop. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's dead in the water, oh, it's unsavable, but with all this information in mind, what do you think is the future of GameStop? Do you think they'll actually change the course and become a bigger and better company in the future, or do you think it's already too late and they should have been evolving already? Of course, like the video if you guys liked it, subscribe for more content, and as always, have a fantastic day. See you guys. So thank you again, Ara, for sending that in. Really interesting article, and it was also fascinating that CNN was covering it. I don't know why, but just the fact that like a major news corporation has decided to start talking about GameStop was interesting to me. Also, I will be streaming tonight at 7:30 Pacific time. If you're still watching, I'm assuming you're going to be there anyway, but just a reminder, I am streaming, so I hope to see you there. Also, if you're interested in what I'm drinking G Fuel. No, there's not alcohol in it. It's the Starfruit version because it is the middle of the afternoon right now, and I can't drink in the middle of the afternoon, even if we are still inside all the time. I don't want to do that quite yet.